Something is brewing in Tyneside, and fans are already feeling a positive tension in the air. Imagine a future yet to be revealed, but you sense something big is about to happen. Conversations circulate quietly, subtly loaded with expectations. The city breathes ambiguity, and for now, the rumors only fuel the imagination. That feeling of anticipation, it's about to explode. You might not yet know where this is heading, but surprising possibilities are looming around St. James Park, silhouettes of potential yet to be spoken aloud. There are whispers behind the scenes, signs and gestures and looks that say more than words. Turn up your curiosity. Every detail could be essential to understanding the path being drawn. If you're here, you've probably noticed something is reaching boiling point. It's worth remembering. Subscribing to the channel really helps you catch these stories firsthand. Consider this a subtle invite because you won't want to miss a twist. I won't say what's coming just yet. Meanwhile, let's blink and let the curiosity siren sound. The first signs of this movement are taking shape. Sources close to the club discreetly tell specialist journalists that negotiations are underway. Contracts are being assessed, agents activated, eyes looking overseas. Every clue sets the fans' alarm bells ringing. But what's at the heart of this plot is still a mystery I'll reveal. Stay with me. Here comes the reveal. It's a concrete move by Newcastle United to try and sign 23-year-old forward from Stade Rennais Arnaud Calamundo, who scored 17 goals and provided 3 assists last season, according to This potential transfer, still under negotiation, is the focal point of this silent game. Newcastle's interest in Calamundo didn't come out of nowhere. Club scouts have been tracking his progress since his youth days at Paris Saint-Germain, where he already showed an uncommon goal-scoring instinct. At Stade Rennais, his ability to exploit space and finish with precision solidified his reputation. Now, with the Premier League in sight, the Magpies' sporting project could offer him the perfect stage to establish himself as one of Europe's most promising young forwards. Last season was a turning point for Calamundo. He scored 17 goals in 33 League One games, playing a decisive role in big matches. His performance draws attention not only for the numbers but for his style, intelligent movement, explosive first steps, and clinical finishing. For Eddie Howe, this represents a player who can fit perfectly in the attack, offering a different profile from Alexander Isak. It's impossible to ignore that Brentford is also in the race. The London club reportedly made direct contact with Rennes according to Le Cuivre, but there's an important detail. Calamundo rejected an offer from Leeds United earlier this summer, signaling he's not just looking to play in England but to find a competitive and growing project. On this front, Newcastle leads, with clear ambitions to compete among Europe's elite. Sources close to the player indicate he is keen to play alongside players like Isak in a team that values intensity and verticality in attack. Howe's philosophy, which relies on a fast, high-pressure style, aligns with the Frenchman's qualities. Furthermore, the atmosphere at St. James Park can be a decisive factor, with fans who turn every game into a spectacle. At Stade Rennais, Calamundo's absence from the friendly against Genoa was already taken as a sign that something is about to happen. Coach Habib Bai said after the game he needs to anticipate certain things and be ready to find solutions if changes occur before the next match against Marseille. Words that sound like a veiled confirmation that the forward might indeed be on his way out. This kind of move shakes the market and keeps fans in a state of eager expectation. Here's a reminder, if you want to follow every update of this negotiation, subscribe to the channel right now. That way you won't miss any detail of what could be one of Newcastle's most important signings this transfer window. Every chapter of this story deserves to be seen up close. Rennes' position is not simple. The club would like to keep a player with so much potential but also recognizes that the Premier League offers financial and sporting opportunities hard to match. With a contract until 2027, Calamundo still has a high market value, allowing Rennes to negotiate strategically and maximize the return on such a valuable asset. On Newcastle's side, the decision to push forward with this deal is not only technical but also strategic. The squad needs depth to face a long season with multiple competitions. Having more quality attacking options is crucial to maintain pace in key games and avoid overloading the starters. Calamundo could be the key piece to guarantee high-level rotation. Beyond talent, the French player brings a competitive mentality shaped in the youth ranks of a European giant. This is something Eddie Howe values, as Newcastle seeks not just skilled athletes but also those with ambition and mental resilience to cope with Premier League pressure. Playing at St. James Park demands courage and confidence, qualities Calamundo has already shown in League One. Meanwhile, the fans wait anxiously. In Newcastle's pubs, debates are heating up. Some believe the Frenchman could start straight away, while others see him as a player to grow gradually and compete with Isak for a spot. Whatever the scenario, the idea of having another offensive weapon makes the Magpies more dangerous for any opponent, and it's worth stressing to follow this saga until the end. Subscribe and turn on notifications. Here, you'll get the hottest information, straight from the sources, with analyses that go beyond the surface. Because this possible transfer could shake not only the attack but Newcastle's entire project for the coming years. Behind the scenes, this negotiation involves a complex network of agents, intermediaries, and executives. Sources in France indicate Rennes is already scouting possible replacements in case Calamundo leaves. This shows talks with Newcastle and Brentford are not mere rumours but concrete dealings. Among the names Rennes is considering are young forwards from League One and promising talents from other European leagues. Newcastle, meanwhile, works quietly to prevent sensitive details from leaking and hindering progress. Eddie Howe knows that discretion is a trump card in negotiations of this scale. At the same time, the club is preparing the ground to integrate Calamundo quickly if the deal goes through, studying how he would fit into the system and what adjustments are needed to make the most of his abilities. An interesting aspect of this potential signing is the player's versatility. Calamundo is not just a finisher but also a forward who knows how to move to create space, drag defenders, and create chances for teammates. This gives Newcastle the option to vary formations and strategies, especially in games where breaking down tight defenses is essential. Another point in favor of the transfer is his age. At 23, Calamundo is entering his physical and technical peak but still has room to grow. Newcastle, which has been investing in young talents to build a long-term project, sees him as an investment with both sporting and financial return. If he shines in the Premier League, the Frenchman's market value could soar within a few years. Of course, losing him now is a hard blow for Rennes. The club built part of its offensive plan around Calamundo last season, and replacing him will require not just money but also time for adaptation. However, the reality of European football is that keeping top talents is increasingly difficult when attractive offers come in. For those following every step of this story, here's another reminder: subscribe to the channel for the latest updates. Here you'll find out not only if Newcastle will close this deal but also how it might change the team's style and competitiveness this season. This could be one of the most strategic moves of the summer market. In England, analysts are already projecting how Calamundo would adapt to the Premier League style. The intensity, physical contact, and pace of the game are challenges for any League One player. But the Frenchman's track record against strong defenses shows he has the tools to adjust. His explosive first steps could be a lethal weapon against high defensive lines. Eddie Howe, if he manages to have Calamundo, would have more freedom to alternate between a two-striker formation or a mobile front three, exploiting the Frenchman's ability to drift wide. This flexibility is vital in such a competitive league, where each opponent demands a specific tactical plan. Another factor working in Newcastle's favor is the presence of a well-organized support structure for new players. The club has heavily invested in improving training facilities and player support, providing conditions for foreign signings to adapt quickly. This could be crucial for Calamundo to perform at his best from the first rounds. On the emotional side, the possible arrival of an up-and-coming name could boost the morale of both squad and fans. After seasons of steady growth, Newcastle seeks to consolidate its position among England's elite. Signings like this send a clear message: the club is ready to compete head-to-head with any rival. Calamundo's approach to negotiations also stands out. He seems determined to take the next step cautiously, choosing a project that fits his style and ambitions. This suggests that if he comes to Newcastle, it will be because he believes in what's being built at St. James Park, not just for financial reasons. In France, L'Equipe reports that talks could progress quickly in the coming days, especially as Brentford pushes to conclude the deal before the season starts. However, those close to the negotiations say Newcastle does not intend to enter a bidding war, relying on the strength of its project to persuade the player. Financially, the operation wouldn't be simple. Rennes is expected to ask a significant fee to release the player, which may include performance bonuses and future clauses. Newcastle, with solid resources but mindful of financial fair play, seeks a deal that doesn't compromise other planned moves in the transfer window. If this transfer happens, it won't just be another signing. It will symbolize Newcastle's moment, ambition, intelligence, and the building of a squad capable of fighting for titles. Calamundo fits perfectly in this project: young, talented, and hungry for success. And for those eager to see where this story goes, here's an invitation: subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. We're just at the start of a window that promises to shake the market and maybe transform Newcastle decisively. The final chapter is yet to be written, and you'll want to be here when it happens.